Welcome, everybody. My name is Mercolium, and we are here with the very first episode of The Devil's Advocate. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a new game show kind of discussion, roundtable topic thing going on. What this is, if you haven't seen any of the posts, which if you're here, you've probably seen the posts, but we are going to have at least 4 guests, and they can be from all different types, different backgrounds, religious beliefs, political stances, and we're going to spin the wheel, and they are going to be placed on a team. And that team is going to either be pro or con, whatever the topics are. And I've got 7 topics for today, and we're going to have basically a discussion. The goal of this is for the team to sway me to their side, or sway you to their side, and that's how they win. That's how they gain points, and they move on to next week's show. So today on our show, now Nomadic Tin Man, as you can see in the description, is supposed to be here. He had some technical difficulties and has not arrived yet, but we're going to carry on and go without. So first, I'm going to introduce Red. And let's see if I can get her. Where is she? Red.
Oh, here I am.
No, you're not.
No.
I can't get my stuff to work. There we go. Red.
All right.
How are you doing today, Red?
Causing havoc in the ranks.
All right. Welcome to the show. And next, we've got, if I can get my stuff to work, should have GEEKTHULHU. For some reason, I am technically unsavvy today. I cannot unmute him.
What's up?
There we go. GEEKTHULHU, how are you doing today?
I'm all right.
You're all right. Always sounding laid back.
Yeah. I overdosed on marijuana at the age of 14, so it's just carrying over. I'm still waiting for the THC to leave my system.
Nice. Okay, let's see if I can get Brown Bomber to unmute himself, or me unmute him, whatever, and see if Brown Bomber will grace us with his presence. Gotta love technology. Brown. There we go. I moved Brown Bomber. My bad. Okay, there we go. Brown Bomber, you there?
Black people. I do not enjoy people with darker skin than mine.
Sounds like we caught you at mid-sentence. So how you doing today, Brown Bomber?
Fucking, I want to kill all the infidels.
Kill all the infidels. Nice. All right, let me adjust one thing here. And so everybody kind of understand the concept of today's game.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any
Though
questions?
it sounded like you said gay.
Gay. Well,
Yeah, if there's gonna be gays on this stream, I might need to back out.
I do have a feeling somebody might get raped in this, but
Rape's completely acceptable.
Okay.
Bomber is the resident gay.
I'm fucking a faggot.
Don't tell me what you're doing. Just
All right, so I'm going to pop up. Let's see. Here is our wheel. You guys may not be able to see. It's a little blurry, and I do apologize about that. So let's pick teams here.
I call fucking GEEKTHULHU because we both didn't prepare for this.
Yeah, well, too bad you can't call teams.
Okay.
So Geek,
Fuck
I'm going
off,
to give you.
GEEKTHULHU. I'm gonna rape you if I'm on the opposite team.
I'll meet you. Geek, I'm going to give you the option. You want to go pro or con?
I guess I'll okay. Well, it doesn't really matter. Because like I don't know what the pro or con of the subject. So I don't know. I'll go pro.
Okay, Geek is going pro. Let's see who's going to be on Geek's. Let's see. Oh, unlucky. Geek.
poor geek.
Get
So we
cucked,
got-
faggot.
Brown Bomber, you're going to be con.
What the fuck am I conning?
You are going
Everybody.
to be going to be the opposite of whatever GEEKTHULHU has. Whatever his
Fuck
topic.
off, Geek.
topic
You're a
is.
stupid cunt.
So that automatically puts red on Geek's team.
How?
Oh, is it gonna be a 2v1?
Girl power.
I said I was going to say that it would be the girls versus the guys if I ended up on Bomber's team.
So let's see. Okay. For those who don't know, today's topics, and again, I'll put this up here. Here's today's topics. We have got gender identity, feminism, trans bathrooms, religious freedom, Planned Parenthood, women in combat, and welfare drug testing. So,
There's Fuckwit.
okay.
Well, I'm going to see if I can get him in here. Bomber on
Let's
Fuckwit
bring him
team.
on.
If Fuckwit joins, he will be on Bomber's team.
It's like when Optimus Prime and Megatron work together.
You know, it makes for great film.
I hope you know Fuckwit hates me.
You're such a meanie head.
Well, no, he's an ideologue. That's why I toasted him in an argument, and now he hates me because he's an ideologue who only
Well,
hates.
to be fair, everybody hates you.
Yeah.
That
Fuck
is kind
off.
of
Geek, no one likes you. You should be shot. You should have been aborted.
So that's it.
And there we go. Okay, so we can move on.
Fucking.
What we're gonna
weed.
do is we're gonna spin, and Bomber, you are gonna get the first chance to make your argument. And let's see what today's first topic is going to be. It is religious freedom. Now,
So am
Now,
I
Bomber.
against religious freedom?
you are against religious freedom, and I need you to answer this question for me. Okay, this is going to be the question for the two of you. Sway me to your side. Hey, how far should religious freedom extend? Can private businesses refuse service to people of a different faith? I will
So
give you
I'm against religious freedom.
yes.
Yeah, fuck religion. I think we should abolish it in the United States, actually, but that's not the point I'm going to be making. So they should be able to not refuse service. I mean, basically, gays are the new blacks. I mean, this is the new civil rights movement. How are we if we're going to allow black people to get whatever they want done in there, if they want to get a black wedding cake, how can we not allow the gays to get a gay wedding cake or the fucking I don't know. That's all I got. The lesbians, they should be able to get a lesbian wedding cake. I think that's what should happen.
Okay, would you like to hold off your time for a rebuttal?
Yeah, fuck you, Geek. You can rebuttal now.
Geek in red. It is to you.
Jesus.
What is your opposing argument?
Or pro-religious freedom. Read the question again. Sorry, I was typing.
All right. You guys are pro-religious freedom. How far should religious freedom extend? Can private businesses refuse service to people of a different faith?
So we have to go pro on this, right?
Yes.
Okay. You want to take it first, Geek?
Well, I believe that every business should have the right to refuse service based on any subject. I mean, whether it be religion, color, whatever you believe. I mean, it's the business's right to actually choose who they want to serve. If they don't want to make a cake for a gay couple, I don't see where this business should be forced to do this. We have a foundational belief in America where we have the right to pursue our religious freedoms, and if a business has a religious mindset and they don't believe that gay people should be married, then they shouldn't have to make cakes.
Right. Yep. That's actually, you wrapped it right up, because honestly, anybody should have the right to pursue their religious freedoms and deny things based on that. And there was actually a couple of cases where honestly, I wanted to know, did these people actively seek out, like these homosexuals actively seek out these religious businesses to try to sue them and cause problems, raise havoc, and screech retardedly that, oh, well, they're oppressing our freedoms, but they don't want to give anybody else, freedoms. God damn it.
Bomber, it's to you if Geek doesn't have anything else.
Well, I think
what
I
did you just say?
succinctly encapsulated this entire argument. So I would be curious to see how he does his mental gymnastics to oppress and try to shut down religious freedoms in our country.
Bomber, it's to you. You're up on the pommel horse.
You're oppressing the gays. You're oppressing the lesbos. You're oppressing the. Do you think if in my religion, do you think if I joined the religion of anti-blacks, I should not be allowed to serve the blacks? Is that what you think, Geek? You bigot? Is that your argument? Is that your opinion?
Yes, that's exactly what my opinion is.
That's a dumb opinion. You should not be allowed to be bigoted. These sound like Jim Crow laws. These are Jim Crow laws for the modern day age against the gays. Against the gays.
It's not against the gays. It's against, religion is what they're trying to do. Is they're actively persecuting religion.
No,
Yeah.
you guys are actively persecuting the gays, the lesbians.
If said religion does not believe in gay marriage, then why should they be forced to then make cakes?
Celebrating such.
Yeah.
You should be allowed. You should have to. You don't have to go in there into their wedding. You don't have to go in there. You just gotta make the cake. You just gotta make the cake. Sorry, it can be Adam and Steve. It doesn't have to be Adam and Eve, okay?
So what's next? A hippo and a guy? Oh wait, that already happens.
Wow, bigoted. That's a slippery slope. That's a logical fallacy.
Logical fallacy. You're the logical fallacy.
Oh, now we're getting
been
into
muffin fucking punched in your cunt.
You're just trying to take away everybody's right to religious freedom. You're trying to oppress people for their beliefs.
You're just trying to oppress the gays.
Why is it always gay with you? This is about religion, not the gays. This is about the freedom of religion.
No. You shouldn't be allowed the freedom to oppress people. I shouldn't be allowed the freedom to go out and whip a black guy. You shouldn't be allowed the freedom to deny a humble gay.
We're done. All right, so here's my second question on this. Okay. Under religious freedom, should religious texts be in the fiction section of a library?
Oh Jesus!
Geek, this one's to you now.
Okay, so I'm pro.
You're pro it being in the fiction section, yes.
Okay. Well, clearly it should be in the fiction section. I mean, there's no difference in the Bible and say the Dark Tower series. I mean, you have this mythologic man that's on a quest to find something, which is Jesus, God, whoever. It's a story backed with no actual scientific or historically collaborated events that really tie it together succinctly. So yes, it should be in the fiction section completely.
Okay, well, yeah, I agree with Geek. I mean, my theory is that, or my thought on this is that there's nobody to prove that this is actual religious, that the religion aspect is true, that it's not nobody that can say, hey, I was there, all these thousands of years ago, I saw this happen, so if we put it into the fantasy section, it gives people a little bit more leeway to be like, all right, well, maybe it is real, maybe it isn't real, but use it as kind of like a guide, not an actual fact. This happened, I saw it, it's not factual.
Yeah, the Bible is just one big, great self-help book. So, I mean,
Yep,
just put it with the other ones.
All right. Bomber, rebuttal, please.
Wait, what am I arguing for? I'm for it being nonfiction, correct?
Correct.
You don't want to, yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, so You can clearly think it's a fantasy. You're wrong. I mean, Muhammad did in fact talk to Allah. That did happen scientifically, but that's besides the point. When you put religious books, I say we put all religious books in the nonfiction section because it's like nonfiction is supposed to just be telling you about what's happening. Like these are things that people believe. Like the fucking history of Lord of the Rings would be in the fucking nonfiction section, right? Because it's telling you like about J.R.R. Tolkien and how he almost died in World War I. In these books, they're just telling you about what these people believe. Like the Bible is telling you, like, oh, there's this Jesus dude and he's got a beard. Here's the Quran, and you should go out and kill apostates. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what it's telling. It's just giving you what they believe. It's nonfiction. It's informational.
Okay, well, first I would like to point out that you're talking about the Silmarillion, and the Silmarillion can be found in the fiction section, and it wasn't World War I, it was World War II. And
it was World War I.
No,
J.R.R. Tolkien did in fact fight in World War I with C.S. Lewis.
Well, at any rate, the Silmarillion can be found in the fiction section.
Well, it shouldn't be found in the fiction section then. It should be found in the nonfiction because it's telling you about these books that were written.
Completely fabricated.
No, it's the history of the completely fabricated books, which would be nonfiction. Is the history of the books fiction?
Do I even have to argue with this here, folks?
No.
I didn't fucking believe anything I said. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna. That's gonna be a point to Geek and Red on this one. You know, you get 50 points for that. Good arguments. Now, anybody who's just now tuning in, if you're kind of unsure what's going on, remember that what they're saying doesn't necessarily mimic what they actually believe. This is more of like a role play for fun. It's kind of putting everybody on a different side of the coin. So let's see. What did I say? 100 points to Geek and Red? Something like that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is this whose line is
We're having
anyway,
to argue sides that we would have to. We're having to argue sides that we normally wouldn't argue, maybe, or we might actually get the spin that we do have, arguments behind.
Hold on, are Geek and Red on the same team the entire time?
Yes.
I think we should.
Can I pull Liberosity in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring him in.
Hold on, let me fucking message him. You want?
Whoa.
I'm gonna throw him the hangout link.
All right, well, Bomber is doing that. Let's move on to our next topic. And our next topic is... Oh. Hey, Bomber. You like this one.
Feminism is my religion!
I thought he'd like this. All right. Everybody ready for the question? And it's going to be Bomber, who is against feminism. Like that's.
Wait, I'm feminism?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah! Feminism isn't my religion!
Hold on. Okay, so here's the question. Okay. Has feminism changed for the worse since the 50s or 60s?
Yeah, originally... Oh, do I go first? Am I going first?
It is to you, Bomber.
Okay, here's the thing. Feminism, originally in the 50s, was about breaking the stigma, breaking the status quo, fighting the patriarchy. It was originally tearing down that oppressive system that kept women in the households where they couldn't get jobs because they were thought to be secretaries, airline attendants. That's what it was for. Now it's third wave feminism, and it's about, ooh, you said mean words about a woman, you hate women. Now it's about how you don't respect women. Because thought crimes are a real thing now. There's microaggressions in the feminist community. If you even look at a woman the wrong way, you're a sexist. You're a sexist. That is the mantra of the fucking third wave feminism. Second wave feminism, hell yeah. I can get on that all day. first wave, getting women the right to vote. Ah, hell yeah. Ah, hell yeah. That's my argument.
Well,
Right.
first, I found a lot of things that you've said as problematic, and and yes, first and second wave feminism, great things, but I think very important to our modern era in order to drive our future into the correct place. The way our society needs to evolve, third wave feminism is greatly needed. You know, we have people leering at women, treating them like meat, constantly harassing them sexually, explaining things to them in such a condescending way, just like you just did in your rant, that was completely dismissive of the struggles that women face on a day-to-day basis. I really feel that your mansplaining has devalued the fight that these current women are making. They're locked out of certain career choices. You know, they have to fight much harder to earn as much as a man. I mean, you have to see this. This is insanity.
Yeah, I mean, how dare you tell me what's good for my people? I mean, we need to fight for our rights. I mean, 50 years ago, we were stuck in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, and now we're curing, cancer and doing all kinds of good things, yet we don't have safe spaces to be humanized in, and we just need to fight for that. And we need more feminism. Feminism is good.
And I'm sorry, Red. I didn't mean to step over you or to speak first. You know, I know I was probably stepping out of line with that. So I hope you do forgive me.
I accept your apology. And see, this is where men and women can work together if men just realize women need to take more of a lead in this life. I mean, where would men be without women?
Nowhere. There'd be no fucking civilization. But
how would you know?
That's besides the point.
You don't believe in feminism. You think I need to be held down by a man and told what to do, and that
No, I think your merits can help you overcome. At this point, there's no systemic oppression of women. There's not people are out getting raped in majorities. The 25% 1 in 4 women statistic was actually debunked. It's more like 1 in 50, 1 in 45, something along those lines. Still a bad statistic, but you're not getting raped out in hordes. There's not just men following you, being like, "Oh, there's a woman. Let me rape that woman." That doesn't happen.
Rape culture is real. Rape culture is real.
There is no such thing as rape culture.
No,
rape culture would, in fact, imply that the society actually accepts rape. If you're even accused of rape, if you even get a rape accusation sent your way, your life's ruined, even if it's true, even if it's not true. What?
Rape cultures do exist. There's no doubt about this. The difference being is that they tend to label the wrong fucking places rape cultures. You want to look at a rape culture, go somewhere like Saudi Arabia.
Hold on a second. Nask plays.
Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing somebody has not explained exactly what.
I said
I
the
just
rules.
read
Did you read the rules?
I just
Okay,
got a random fucking thing.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, so we're actually going to move on to the second question here. Nask. So here's the game. Is that sides were chosen. Okay. And GEEKTHULHU and Red were put on a team, and Bomber and our other guest who was supposed to be here were going to be on another team. So you're going to be on Bomber's side. He is con whatever the topic is. So you guys are going to be against whatever the 7 topics are. Geek and Red are for whatever the topics are. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually agree with whatever you're saying. You just have to take the other side. There we go. Somebody gets it. Yeah.
So this should be good.
Devious laugh.
So now that we've explained that, and I think there's a couple people in our chat that didn't quite understand what the game was, and I do say game because this is supposed to be fun.
It's not.
So anyway,
this is serious.
Yeah, it did confuse me a little when I first popped in because Bomber just randomly sent me the fucking link. He's like, "Join this bitch," and I'm like, "Okay." And so I pop in, and the first thing I see is GEEKTHULHU fucking talking about like fucking rape culture or some bullshit.
You're like, I thought I knew you, bro.
I thought I knew you better than this.
Yeah. You know, and that's the point is you're going to pop in. If you pop into the middle and you don't know what's going on, you're like, wait a second, what? So I figured I'd explain that to you and for the people who
I'm so
I guess
ready
to
for
be
people cut
perfectly
this up
technical
and share it with all sorts of people that hate
Oh
me.
yeah.
I guess
I did send the link to like 4 people.
To be perfectly
So-
technical here, I think I did a good enough job coming in on Bomber's side
Yes,
right
you
off the
did.
bat.
Yes, you did.
Because
That was
I was still inherently on his side. I was just clarifying things.
All right, so now that we've got that, let's move on to the second part or second question of feminism.
Oh
Now-
God.
Yes. Now, for everybody out there, are women superior to men at sex?
Oh my god.
Geek and Red.
No,
it's you.
his.
Hold
wait,
on.
what?
We get this first. We get pro first.
God damn it.
Well, because you are the woman, and I don't want to,
Cut.
assert myself over you. I believe you should go first.
Okay. So I appreciate that. And no, he's not a cuck. No, he just knows what's right. I mean, okay, so women, we spend a majority of our time in the home taking care of our men. And, so we've spent all these centuries learning what to keep our men at home, pleasurable things. And so we are actually more in tune with our bodies. We're more physical lovers anyway. Men are all mental lovers. All they need is, a piece of TNA on the screen and they're done. Get in there, hit it, quit it, get it done. But women, we come in and we actually enjoy the experience and try to bring joy to you in the experience and bring all kinds of sensual aspects that you wouldn't even expect during sex unless you saw it in a porno.
Yeah, I completely agree with her here because when previously I would have never thought pegging would have been an option in my sexual relationship, but my fiance is clearly show me a different side of my sexuality by use of a strap-on, and anal play to me now is something that I really enjoy, and I don't think that I would have ever experienced that outside of just normal sex, and women are clearly more in tune with the sexual natures, is where men, like you said, are just very mechanical and just and almost brutal with their sex.
Well said.
I believe I require some kind of clarification on this entire topic about who's better at sex, men or women. Are we talking about specifically heterosexual sex, or does any sex apply?
Ooh, good question.
The question is actually in reference to the act of sex.
The act of sex. So any sexual interaction between men, women, men, women, whatever it may be, does apply. Yes.
However you want to take it, yes.
Well, then in that circumstance, I would argue that men are clearly better at sex because of the simple fact that women, yes, they are more emotionally in tune with their sexual engagements. Of course, there's no doubt about this. Every man, worth his salt, who has more than 2 brain cells to rub together, can totally understand that. Unfortunately, what this generally tends to mean is that women can get a little too involved. They can get a little too fussy about the details, and you see this in general female interactions. I mean, look at lesbian relationships. They generally tend to have a vastly disproportionate level of domestic abuse, whereas you look at male homosexual relationships, or these men have such ridiculously levels of abuse and conflict because they understand each other. They know each other very well, and no one understands a man's body better than another man. Now, when it comes to heterosexual sex, on the other hand, the point being is that men, yes, we are more physical beings. We understand how to please a woman. We understand how we want to be pleased. And women, being more emotionally attached to the situation, physical pleasure is not going to be one of their priorities. And so Men, when it comes to heterosexual sex in particular, we know how to make a woman feel good. We know how to physically please her. We know how to physically push her buttons. A woman is going to probably do more of that usual kind of stuff of maybe a little bit of foreplay, and then for some annoying fucking reason they feel the need to cuddle and talk afterwards. But that's, I digress.
Oh, hurtful.
I think men are clearly better because we're always on top and we're always controlling the action. Y'all cunts can't even do anything. We have to beg to get in that bed, and then when we get in there, we go to town. We are the best. We are the best of the best, and it is genetics.
That is so
He
problematic.
literally just dropped his microphone.
That is so triggering, Bomber. You have no idea. I mean, the fact that you wouldn't even understand or even try to empathize with a woman and what she's trying to do for you, you must be single. That's got to be it. You're hating because you're single.
Well, of course we wouldn't empathize with a woman when it comes to something like sex because we're not emotionally involved in the act. We are physically involved. We want pleasure. We don't want to feel good in our little, in our little mental bubbles. We're not sitting there looking to be, coddled. We don't want our emotions stroked. We want to feel.
Yeah, well, you guys want to feel, but you guys, without women being willing and pliant, you would only have one hole to hold it. I mean, it would be pretty boring and dull if a woman wasn't, into it or, intuitive about the needs of the man. About, oh, maybe he wants to do this, maybe he wants to do that, because then the guy doesn't have to straight up ask for it, do this, do that, unless, there's roles for that too. But, at least the woman is trying to be intuitive and receptive and meet all the physical needs.
Well, therein lies the problem is that you could be intuitive with someone's bodies and someone's needs without being emotionally attached to the circumstance, because especially when it comes to sex, there's a lot of physical play going on, a lot of unspoken emotions, a lot of unspoken kind of, movements and feelings that are going on. We navigate that circumstance. We navigate it physically to understand what a woman wants, what she's kind of looking for, where she's kind of leading on.
Oh, look at him explaining that he knows what a woman wants. That is tantamount to rape.
I just got raped on YouTube. Oh
You're welcome. You're fucking welcome.
Okay, I think we're gonna end that conversation right there.
Sorry about that. My mic fucking died on me.
So hard to do.
I am a
all the shit you were spewing, Bomber.
Huh?
It was all the shit you were spewing. Your mic quit. It said,
See, that's what Bomber did. He made such a hardcore fucking point. He had to mic drop, but he mic dropped so hard he threw it at the ground.
His shit was so
whenever my mic
problematic.
drops, my
His
computer
own
actually
mic committed
restarts.
suicide.
yeah, his own mic.
You've cut this entire argument.
Bomber's misogyny was so powerful that even his microphone went feminist.
Oh my god!
How dare you call me a fucking misogynist? Fucking hate single mothers.
Jesus Christ. Save that shit for the chat.
All right. Moving on. Let's kind of progress this a little forward. Let's see if we got something else. We're gonna go over to. Here's what we got. Oh Jesus. Jesus Vigora.
Oh.
Gender identity.
Well, fuck me.
Now
thank
you got to clarify this gender identity because that's the topic. But
Yes.
you're pro gender identity. Con. You got to be a little bit more clarify this one a little bit.
Yes. Okay. So, how's it going to work? Remember, Red and Geek are pro gender identity. They're going to be on the pro side of the argument, and Nask and Brown Bomber are going to be on the con side of this argument. And the first question is: should gender identity be included on government forms of ID?
Yeah, I made this hard by saying pro, didn't I? Fuck me.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Well,
You
just
have
for
to
the
cuck the
record,
entire time, dude.
just for the record, on the previous topic, the pro side did get to go first, so I think that the
yeah.
con side should be able to go first this time. And allow me to start.
Yeah.
Yes,
Here we go.
Whoa there, fucking cuck. Okay, fine.
Should gender identity be allowed on government forms and identification? I do believe so. However, I would clarify that gender identity should only be limited on government forms and IDs as male or female, as those are the only two genders that genuinely exist. And anybody could argue on the point of, well, what about transgenders? Well, that's not a third gender. That's just a transition between one or the other. And the only reason that we would ever even put gender identity on these forms, on these identifications, is not so much for any kind of social matter, but primarily for medical matters, because it's good to know when you go to the hospital or say you get in an accident and you're brought into the ER, it's good for them to know, are you a man or a woman? Because that will help them biologically better understand your needs.
Brown, you got
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, because if you're let's say you look like, let's say you have a penis, let's say you have the reproductive organ of the male, and we're not going to talk about traps because fuck traps are faggots. So let's continue what I was saying though. If you, let's say you get into an accident, and the surgery is different. Let's say it's like on your groin. Let's just say it's around that area, and they need to know if they need to give you a certain doctor who specializes in groin surgery, or like for the dick, or for the vagina. But let's say you have that penis, and then on your government ID it says you're a woman. You identify as a woman. They send you over to the woman, and due to it being a time constraint, you might die if you don't get sent to the right one. She doesn't know how to operate on your penis. You're dead. You're dead because you decided to be a faggot.
Okay, then.
I'm going
Geek and Red to you.
I'm going to defer to Geek on this one since he's been so awesome at white knighting for me. I'm going to let him do it again.
You suck.
Keep
Red.
carrying the load.
You suck.
Yes, she does.
How like a cuck, you need the permission of a woman.
No. Man. All right. So I'm supposed to be pro. Showing
Gender identity, whether it be male, female, or all of the
Non-binary, Apache helicopter.
Fuck me.
all of the 73 plus identified genders.
Oh. All right.
Get into your role.
All right. I'm
All right,
shifting my shoulders. All right. So the problem with this argument here is that you're trying to dictate how people should feel about who they are or what they feel deep down inside. We through rigorous psychological studies and papers, we understand that people can have the body of a male, but typically feel as a female, and that should be accommodated. And yes, I do believe that all licenses, if I am indeed biologically a male, but I identify as female, should read as female. It's as clear cut as that. I mean, we have to understand that people have different feelings, dysphoria that may confuse them. I mean, some people may identify with a fox, and that may be how they identify themselves, and we should respect that and treat them equal to everyone else.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and then feelings do have identities. I mean, if you feel like a man, then you should be addressed as a man. And how is the officer who pulls you over going to know either one? I mean, are you male? Are you female? And then the whole point about the medical aspect, well, it doesn't take much to, when you're going in, for them to take a look and be like, oh, yep, it's a boy. Oh, it's a girl. So, we can do medicine based on those lines of male or female. But, identifying how they actually feel with their gender expression also helps with medical treatment, because if it's a man that feels like a woman and dresses like a woman and actually has like all the testosterone bleached out of their system and they're on hormone replacement therapy, then they're going to respond like a woman when they're being treated and triaged. And everybody knows that when you go in for triage, that men and women are handled differently. And then, in order to be able to handle as such, they need a way to identify how to deal with them.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
On that note, I'm actually going to end this little part of it. So this is actually going to be round one. And I think it's pretty well split. Here's what we're going to do. Since we now have all four people in here, we're going to reorganize the teams a little bit. Okay?
Me and Geek, let's do this, Geek!
All
Oh
right.
God, Geeks fangirl.
Geek.
God, what a faggot.
First up, GEEKTHULHU. And
GEEKTHULHU.
Brown Bomber.
GEEKTHULHU.
God damn it, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, well, there was Merc had to do up the wheel differently because we only had 3 participants. So,
Yep.
Can you quickly like redo a wheel wedge there to have the
I
4th
think
player
this
in
is
there, or
fine.
is that gonna
This
take
is
too long?
completely fine. Me and GEEKTHULHU versus you and
Redo
the
the
wolf.
4th wedge for like.
I did it.
Oh, there is. Oh, I just don't see it.
Well, yeah, no, there's 4. I put NASC
Oh,
plays
okay,
in
I
there.
see it.
And so NASC plays and Red are together now. Since Geek had choice on last round, NASC plays, since you're the new one, would you like to be pro or con?
Let's see.
There's
here.
a lot of topics. You want to
so many
give him the
things.
topics real quick? What the
No.
Go
topics are?
Don't tell him yet.
I will do this.
Keep it.
So we've got, let's see, welfare, drug testing, trans bathrooms, Planned Parenthood, and women in combat left. That's all we've got left.
Personally, just because it's much more fun for me, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go anti. I'm gonna have to go con.
Con. Awesome.
So Red and NASC.
You're pro again.
Fuck me.
That
guys
was
are
the
not
point, I
right
guess.
ones.
Geek, you're an actual pussy. We'll win this.
You know, we're gonna see, clips of this in a certain person's like videos.
All right.
He's a
You
horrible
guys are
human
setting me
being.
up.
We're gonna
Guys,
see.
this-
We're gonna see
this is
clips of this on
pointless.
Twitter or something, and then it's just gonna be like me and Red arguing like legitimate, valid points, and actually being. Well, it's just gonna be Brown Bomber just being a fucking spastic and Geek just struggling to try and get by and realize things.
I'm gonna carry this team, Geek. Just sit down and watch me work, cunt.
Okay, Kobe.
Warning to anybody watching, this is about to get a little vulgar.
Oh yeah, it's
So-
gonna get
What are
bad.
you talking about, faggot? Is this supposed to be
All
fucking
right, Kobe.
vulgar?
You go shoot that ball. I'm gonna.
So
stand next to you.
I'm gonna skip the first question. We're gonna go to the fun one. So this is the topic: women in combat. Would women be more effective in combat, or would women be more effective in combat than men once a month? Red and NASC. This is to you. There we go. We're getting it. Red and NASC. This first one's to you.
Would you like to start first, Red?
Yeah, you go for it. I want to hear something.
All right, very well. Would women be more effective in combat once a month? No, they would not. And for the simple fact that while women may once a month, they may go through their time of the month where they kind of spurg out and rage a bit for the most part. But I don't believe that in combat that would inherently be a benefit to them, because during that time of the month, they tend to get emotionally unstable. And during times of emotional instability, particularly in high stress situations like combat, is when you can generally find these people, encountering circumstances where they tend to let loose, and usually in the wrong direction. They tend to get a little unpredictable. And so I would feel that women in combat once a month, it doesn't matter, any time of the month, really, they won't be as effective as men in combat. They still physically would not be able to carry as much. They still physically would not be able to perform all the same tasks that most men in the military would be able to. And during that one time of the month particularly, they'll be a lot less emotionally and psychologically capable as men are in the military. And so I don't believe that they would be as effective in combat.
I have to agree. I mean, I've known plenty of soldiers, and pretty much a man's mind goes to, defending their own. And when they see a woman in combat, they flash to female family members of, their mother, their sisters, their daughters, their cousins, people that they want to protect. And men in the military are all want to defend and protect and serve. And having a woman there is a distraction in general. And then you put them there in their once a month little problem, and it becomes everybody's problem. And the more you have there, the more they're going to cycle together, because that happens. And so you're going to have an entire unit with like half of their unit cycling, going through their different moods and their feels and their, oh, this is just too hard for me. And then the cleaning aspect, it is not clean to have a period. It is not, and so if you're out there on front lines, you can't clean up, you can't do anything about it. And then everybody else is stuck with it. So it becomes a serious inconvenience and then a safety risk. Putting women out there for feminism's sake to reduce the stress of the feministic, ideology. Oh, we need more women. No, we don't. We need the women to do what they can do, but frontline is not it.
And if I could just clarify on a point here, is when it comes to women on the front line, especially in combat situations, one really needs to have one's head on their shoulders. One needs to be able to be very pragmatic in those situations. And so this is where you come down to the dichotomy between feels versus reals, emotions over pragmatism. And in that regard, women, particularly one time during the month for like a week, can become overly emotional. They can become quite a danger not only to themselves, but also to their squad mates, because it leaves too much room for mistakes to be made. And this is why men, being far more pragmatic in that situation, their mind immediately goes to, what is the situation at hand? How am I going to handle this? What am I going to do? What are the steps I'm going to take?
Yeah, and how can you solve this problem? A woman's just like, how can I solve my problem during that time? They are not thinking of others. I mean, we really don't. We're trying to, fix ourselves and, little minor problems. And the man is thinking of the greater scheme of things. And we actually have physical differences, and women physically cannot do as much as a man can. Just can't.
All right. That's it. Geek and Brown, it is your turn. What is your rebuttal?
Geek, shut up. I'm going first. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's why I think they'd actually be even more effective than men during their once a month time. So let's say we're out in the desert, we're shooting some packies, right? We're fighting the infamous brown people. If those women are on their time of the month, those packies can actually smell out Western whore blood. So if you leave them out as like a diversion or as bait, you could have the real men soldiers come out and shoot the packies when they get there. It's just simple strategy. When you leave a bait for a bear to come out there and he gets hit on the trap, you go ahead and shoot him when you see him because he can't move.
It's not doing your point any justice when you're laughing as you say things.
You are a horrible.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. This is great. I wasn't laughing. Okay.
Hilarious. Talk about
We should leave women on bear traps. We should just to get more blood out of them. We should hit them with a bear trap, and when they're on their time of the month, we just leave them out there. You see a squadron of packies roll up, and like, la, 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 la.
Oh my God.
And then they're there. And
Brown gets a point.
Ambush them.
Brown gets a
200
point.
points to Brown.
See, this is the inherent problem with the whole argument about women in combat, is that no matter what side you're arguing it from, everyone's going to fucking laugh.
Yeah.
No,
Jesus
well,
Christ.
my partner here clearly has lost his mind. And to argue for women in a combat role, I think women would almost be superior in a combat role, especially at that time of the month. I mean, they're more aware, they're more anxious, they're more than, yeah, they're angry. They're more than willing to do the job that a man wouldn't be able to do. Clearly, I think the choice of putting women in a combat role is great. And then also, with women, you have the ability to empathize with your enemy more and maybe get in their heads and understand what the enemy might do. Whereas a man, he just follows an order. A woman leads.
I think we should just leave them out there for the packies to try and fucking shoot, but then we can ambush them. That's how we win the war on terror. Take a bunch of hot Western whores and they try to throw a hijab on them, and then we fucking shoot them.
I don't think you understand this game.
No.
I'm winning the argument. Okay?
He did get 200 points, so I'll give him credit for that one. Oh, God.
Chad did make a good point. We're coming up on an hour.
Yep. Any last thoughts on this topic? I'll give you guys 30 seconds.
All women are whores.
Thank you for
And
the
that's
laugh.
why they shouldn't. And that's why they shouldn't be in frontline combat or anything like that, because then they're gonna be on their back instead of in the rack.
All women are single mothers, and then those single mothers, they have better periods, so they can attract packies.
Women are inherently weak. Weak people make weak soldiers. Women are shit soldiers. Plain simple.
I
Got 'em.
simply disagree. Simply disagree. Women are the strongest species, the strongest sex. I mean, look, they give birth. I mean, let's see a man try to do that.
And
Just
we get
'cause we
kicked in the
give
nuts on a
life-
regular basis.
Just because we give life doesn't make us any better at taking life.
Abortion's a thing. Are you fucking retarded?
Usually, it's a male doctor.
But you're fucking you're gonna. I imagine. If I were a woman,
God.
I could take a coat hanger and shove it right up my urethra. Not my urethra. They have
He doesn't know where babies come from.
All right.
From the
I
pee-pee.
think Brown Bomber here is. I think he's getting a little confused because I believe he may be conflicting childbirth with his own delusional little fetish of sounding.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna end this. Real quick. Let's see. Nask Plays. Would you like to plug your channel real quick?
Plug my channel. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. Thankfully, I got enough subscribers now that I actually have a dedicated fucking link. And so basically it's youtube.com/c/thewolfsword. And it's basically a lot of my videos are going over different topics, particularly political and social issues, sometimes current events, news. But also I do response videos to some people trying to debunk their arguments.
All right, appreciate it. And I'll get your link and I'll include it in the description of this video.
Woohoo!
Geek, up to you. Would you like to plug your channel?
You don't even make fucking content, faggot.
I do sometimes.
Enough to
it's
get
like-
noticed.
I just get noticed because I disagree with people and people don't like that.
You always fucking start drama. You shouldn't even be fucking on YouTube. You should have your platform ripped away from you.
Bomber,
faggot.
I won't let you plug
I
yourself.
agree. I agree. My platform should be removed. But my channel on YouTube is the GEEKTHULHU. You can also follow me on Twitter at @the_GEEKTHULHU as well. And I also have a Discord that you can find if you want to join that.
Called
as
the GEEKTHULHU.
Oh no, I forgot to plug my Twitter account.
Oh Jesus!
Too late.
It'll be a link in the
Faggot.
description below.
Monsieur Bomber, it is your turn. Would you like to plug your crap that you put on YouTube?
Go plug yourself.
Brown Bomber. Look it up. Don't be a faggot. Watch it.
AKA
Brown Bomber,
audio
why do you gotta be so
cancer
fucking
kid.
racist? Why do you gotta be bitching on muzzies all the fucking time? God, you're so fucking racist in a lot of
Fuck
stuff.
Liz Reptile. If you're watching this, Liz Reptile, I hope you fucking actually die of like fucking AIDS. You probably have AIDS from all the drugs and needles you share with people. You look like an actual man. Like you look like mid-transgender. Stupid cunt.
You're just wishful thinking there, Bomber. You're wishful thinking for you.
That is so horrifically transphobic.
All right. Now, Red, I know you don't quite have any videos up yet, but you are going to be starting some new ones coming up. Would you like to plug your channel?
Oh, it's the Red and Only. And it's just me. I haven't put anything up yet. I'm going to put some of the videos that I've done with Mercolium over on my channel. And once it's actually up and has life in it, then I'll put the link out there.
Once again, creating life, right?
Yep. Bringing life into this world and won't take bombers.
All right. I appreciate it. God damn it. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Everyone dying in
God,
fucking fire.
Can't even think right now. You know, I'm just so I can think.
Just I want to let everybody know I'm celebrating
Get dick.
called Ramadan.
Get dicked.
No,
I am-
it's
I am-
Ramadan. You drink rum for 30 days.
Fuck Muslims.
All right.
You guys-
Well, that's. I don't know why you're saying to drink rum for 30 days. That's basically been my diet for the past 2 years.
Well, just tell them you're a long practicer of Ramadan,
What are you
I'm
fucking
not-
Diz?
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't go to meetings.
right?
Fuck Pagan Minotaur. Fuck him.
And just for the record, the only ones I've really spoken to before are GEEKTHULHU and Brown Bomber. But I gotta say, I love each and every one of you. You people are fucking amusing.
God,
This has
Bob,
been
you're,
great.
you're
This
an
was fun.
ideological cunt.
I'm glad you joined us.
I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and being part of the inaugural launch of this. Check in next week, Wednesday
Can I say
at
one more thing?
noon. Pacific Standard Time for the next episode of The Devil's Advocate. Don't
Hold
forget
on,
to go
can I say one more thing before we end?
Shut up, Bomber.
One more thing.
And subscribe. Give a like if you like this video. Yeah, there we go. Bye, Bomber.
Hey, hold on. I have one more to say before you end it off. Did you end it?
What?
Okay. Nash, stop meeting me. God, brother, I hope I hope you die of STDs, but that would require you having sex with a woman.
And
Max, get muted. Fuck.
That should be next week's game is mute the bomber.
And he left.
I kicked him out. Anyway, again, don't forget to go to these guys' channels.
You got muted.
Subscribe if you like the video. If you got what this game was, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Other way, I don't give a fuck. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe to their channel. I appreciate you guys all coming on, and I will see you guys next week.